Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello. Today we will learn first topic of Unit 1 in web designing, course KCS 052. That is basic principles involved in developing a website. Dear all, website development is a very easy job, but somehow to get our goal to make an effective website, we need to follow some principles. That principle from which some parameter is parameter is stabilized from which a metric bond stabilized by some third-party agencies like Google Analytics have have their judgment that the website design is good. So whenever we try to design a website, the website should not poorly perform in the Google Analytics metrics. And for this, what are the cons? What are the cons to get low metric in our Google Analytics? Is that we get a high bounce rates. High bounce rate in the sense when somebody searches, our website will not come into the first priority. Second, low time on the site. People usually visit our website and does not get optimum time. Low pages per visit. Due to people usually don't visit our website, so people visit lesser number of our pages, and there is also low conversions. Low conversions in this is if suppose we have an e-commerce website and people usually not visit our websites, so conversion rate for product selling conversion rate of that website will be very low. So we need to define and design a website in such a way that people tends to come, in enough number. And success of the any website depends upon the how the web design of website has been done. So we right now in the modern way of looking at the thing, we tend to make a website to do different screens friendly, like in the mobile platform as well as in various screen available. Various screen sizes available nowadays. Mobile, tablet, in PC. PC screen sizes depend upon the criteria. Now we usually see websites on the some big screens as well. So how modern websites used to adapt with the help of the bootstrap technologies. These things we also need to take care when we design a website. Before most any technical features, first of all, we need to design a purpose. Here we'll define some points. What is basically needed? Basically needed for here we will design some point which is basically needed for our web design. Basic principle is we are estimating that it's a basic principle. Actually, it's not a very much a basic principle. It is basically a experience. Experience from which we are getting that if we follow this path, then our website will be you know, having a better presentation. Now, let's move ahead, and we first of all go for the first point, was the need to define any website. That is the purpose. Anywhere web design should have a purpose, because any good website always caters to the need of the user. So one have to understand for which information that people are coming on the web domain, for whether my website is able to feed those information or not. So we need to define our purpose of our website, whether we're going for the e-commerce website, whether we're going for the social network website, whether we're going for entertainment website. What are we some informative websites, either some business websites like OLX and all. So any good web design always caters to the need of the user. Now, as a visitor, we should think, whenever we define any purpose of the website, as a visitor, we should think what information, what mostly you need your instinct need to have call for the web domain, for what purpose, like somebody need information, somebody need entertainment, somebody needs some type of interaction, or so if I am a businessman, I go to website for some transactions as well. So each page of a website needs to have a very clear purpose and to fulfill a specific need for your website. That if there is an e-commerce website, then there should be a section of each and every one, like kids section and men's section and women's section. It should it should define in a purposeful way, because it helps the user to go that specific page, and then we after little much interaction with that by some subject presentation or even product presentation, we need to go for some transactional pages. So how we navigate those pages, this all thing defines the purpose of the website. And best possible the best possible thing is to make it so much easier, and so much easier from user need not to go here and there. So website must be the best website should have a defined purpose, whether it is an entertaining website, it is an information sharing website, whether it is a social networking, whatever. And if if it is having any transactional thing, that should be very smooth. There should not be any complexity involved in that. So, but within that smoothness, we need to have some effective from some security is always also take care of. So for that, we need to have a proper communication. So if people are using our website and have some little bit issues, then there should be a proper, clear-cut communication with our experience. We should have in website like FAQ, like a frequently asked questions, from which people understand our process. If I'm coming on the web, then I'm coming for some um, quick information. So it is important to communicate clearly on your website pages that you know uh, you are here, you are here for this purpose of the business, and it should be in a simple language from which the people is able to read it and digest as well. So for the effective techniques which we should include in our website design is to organize our information using headlines and subheadlines. And within that sub headlines, we should use bullet points instead of long building statements, which is not able. We are not able to communicate well to our users. And for the cutting the baffle, or some very beautiful manner, we should add codes or some highlighters and some connectors from which our user is able to digest the given information in a very well manner. Now, typefaces, very important thing. Typefaces in general, we use sans serif fonts such as Varial, Verdana. It's easier to read online. But sometimes in the entertainment website, we need to try to create an impact on the user. For that, we can use some different typefaces as well. So ideal font size for any reading online is a 16 pixel, and the stick with the maximum 3 typefaces is maximum 3-point size. So depend upon the need of our website, we can change the typefaces and the pixel rates accordingly. Color, very important part. So first of all, we need to design our purpose. Then we understand how we are going to communicate with our website. Thirdly, we then go for the typefaces. Then the fourth point is color. In the color, a well thought out color palette should be there, from which enhance the user experience. Now let's take an example of a Facebook. Facebook is in a Facebook owner is little bit a colorblind, as I have read of them at some places. That's why you use color white and blue, from which in general, anybody having if you're having some little bit of color blindness as well, will able to comprehend the subject matter better. So this little bit exercises or little bit experience of live when introducing the website, it's helped to enhance the efficiency of the website. Okay. Now, okay, there is maybe some for some constraints we need to go for that color, but somehow we need to understand all the color combinations as well. So complementary colors, you know, hard complementary or soft complementary colors, we used to take that and try to create a balance and harmony within that, from which user experience of our website become very comfortable and cozy. So sometimes, in general, from our upbringing as well, we used to contrast our color to make an impact. If we're having a white page copy, then you used to have black pen for the heading. This contrast, enhance the combination of this combination of black and white enhance the that subject that subject matter. So we need to go on some little details before writing any content. If it is important and how we're going to represent that, that is our main forefront thing. So how we are going to create a balance, how we're going to create a harmony. That is what a color combination is all about. So using contrasting color for the text and the background will make reading easier on the eye. That is very important phenomenon because we don't able to understand, but each and every screen radiates some light on us, and this light somehow create a different aura altogether. So we should have a color combination which is not very much not teasing to the eyes. It should be soothing to the eyes, from which the user can have a longer duration to our website. That's why in our mobile phone as well, when we on the reading book option mobiles as well. So they just dim the light of the that mobile phones, right? And the if our color combination is very weak, then in dimming those lights, maybe the those letters doesn't come in to the full-fledged way from which the user will not able to enhance, uh, not able to understand about that what really it is in written. So we need to go in each and every aspect while defining the color combination of our pages. So now, sometimes we need to create emotions on the web page only, a virtual emotion, you can say that. So for that, we use vibrant colors to create emotions and this and and these vibrant now color should be strangled in form of the buttons and call to actions from which like we need to go one page to another, and if our hyperlink has a blue color and then we click it that it become a red. So this vibrant color will create emotion. Okay, and I also able to understand that I'm moving to the next page, and if I'm clicking it is not red, and you know this command has not been taken by that hyperlink. So this little bit color introduction also help us to technically understand the thing, as well as the user also able to understand that okay, we read नहीं हुआ है ना, तो अभी page upload नहीं हुआ है. तो so Anna, you are not there to communicate to the user what you want to say. Now this little bit color introduction on the web page is doing the job for you. But last but not least, how to use the white spaces and the negative spaces is very effective at a website, because we we create a website we create a website to enhance the experience of a user. To enhance the experience of a user, we create a website. So it must be contemporary, it must be modern, and it should have uncluttered look from which a user is able to connect and feel soothed while listening, while reading those informations. Images, very important part. Sometimes this images part is very important because a picture can speak 1,000 words, and choosing the right image for our website can help us the brand positioning and connecting with our target audience. We can take an example of some Snapchat. Snapchat always uses some vibrant colors and different cheeky images from which teenagers and young people used to connect with the Snapchat very well. But now Facebook has a very vast audience. Twitter has a very intellectual audience. Those platforms doesn't use cheeky colors and cheeky way of understanding the things. They they take it put it the things in a very professional manner. So it's all about which audience you are targeting. So target audience always decide which way the one website will go. If you do not have high quality professional photos on our hand, then we should go for some stock photos what different cam different way camera persons has clicked and put it in a website for sale. We should understand our need and then those collect those photographs first, because right nowadays there is a very much you know culture of using the infographics, videos, and graphics for our effective communication. Even initially it was uh, notation that well-written pieces of the text is more than enough. But right now, the effective way of communication has changed its dimension very much. Now we are using infographics, videos, and graphics images for our communication. So in general, if we understand as what is video, videos is just a fast streaming images. So how we are going to select those images and making those videos is very important. It's making very important. Okay, it's making it become very important to us. Now, sixth is navigation. What is navigation? How navigation enhance the experience of a user on a website. Navigation should be very easy. It should move around website and it should be tactically effective from which a logical page hierarchy of the website is shown. We can use a breadcrumbs, clickable buttons and three-click rule. Three-click rule, which means the user will be able to find the information they are looking for within the 3 clicks. Three-click rule is a very hands-on button hands-on button to the to development team that we should comprehend the need of user in such a manner that within a 3 click only the people is able to get his information to our website, from which the valuability of our website become very uh, much in within the user experience. Now, layout. Yeah, if right now the streaming is very fast due to the various availability of the pages, but if the streaming is very low in some villages out there, the outskirts, in the city outskirts or the village area, the streaming is very low when you're able to see all those grids of HTML and that define the structural layout of our website. So best to avoid the haphazard appearance and messiness, we use the grid pair layout. If we look closely to the Facebook as well, they use the grid-based layout. They have some proper structuring of the information in their respective places. Newsfeed has a different area. Their advertising board is a different area. Fair. What is in mind is a different area. Suggestions from some people is from different area, and they use the area of our this the screen very much. They know how to visualize how people used to see the screen. They visualize that part, they test that part. So that's why the appearance of the Facebook is very much different on the mobile phone. There on the laptop, it is not so. On the laptop and on our computer system, it is somewhat very much same. But in the mobile phone, it is very much different because you know they analyze how they analyze the grid system of representing the our information within the section, columns, and boxes, and line up like that. From which lineup, and, and those lineups should have a balance property within that, from which our overall looking of our website design become easy. Usually, next point cater to the need of this grid-based layout only. F pattern design. And eye tracking studies have identified that the people scan computer screens in the F pattern. Most of what people see is in the top and the left of the screen, and the right side of the screen is rarely seen. Rather than trying to force the viewer visually follow an effective design websites, will work with the reader's natural behavior display information in order reports from left to right and top to bottom. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm pushing that. In the left, in the Facebook, in the left at the top, you are getting your information, your pictures. But in the right side, which is not our natural instinct to see there, we have some marketplace and some suggestions, some advertisement clips. But the most information is carried within the pattern design, and the grid design will also be like that. So this is what I'm improvising that. If a website is so famous, if a website is so famous with a billion on the people, it has a research behind that. And its layouts have been designed in such a manner, where all the psychological patterns and sociological constraints have been visualized, and it has been put in the within the neurological cycle as well as the biological constraints has been adopted just to see the website on the screen. So just to I want to push here that the web design is an art. Really, you can how much information you're going to get from your learning experience, and you put it on your this designing pattern is very important. Now this is what and this is what information is all about F button design. Next is load time. Load time, really the load time is. Everybody hates a website that took ages to load, and the most important example is Output. Output was a social networking site of Google platform. Google has bought Output platform social networking site. But why it has lapsed the market, in my understanding, this was the reason. Orkut usually takes higher load time than Facebook. When the Facebook introduced the server-side script, it was based on the server-side script, and this was a PHP. In the latter hours, Facebook used the best of the PHP, and their technical engineers were so good they improvised some more compilation process, especially suited to their websites, and finally designed their own language, and from which Facebook was upgraded, and finally Facebook is now and Facebook is having a best of the best property of the object-oriented and server-side scripting, and their all technical hands also enhance the security as well. So they take best of the existing products and uses in their www.facebook.com. So this is the from which they they used to manage the lower load time. They used to manage the lower load time. So what is the understand that you upload many of the videos on your page on the Facebook. You understand images on the Facebook, but the load time is low. This is a very crucial factor. This is a very crucial factor we need to understand. Whenever you in general, if we use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we used to upload many images and video, the load time of website will go down. But Facebook load time, will lakhs of people are continuously updating and upgrading their profile by updating images and videos. But still, the load time of that website is constant. So this is where the technical expertise of the engineers are. But still, uh, apart from the technical expertise, the design of the web page is so we are able to comprehend the need of the web page in the very effective manner. So now, how to optimize that? How to optimize that if people will upload images and video? So to make page load times more effective, including optimizing image sizes like size and scale, combining code into we just combine code of the CSS or JavaScript file. This reduces the HTTP request and minify the HTML. These are the little bit technical enhancement we usually do. Combining code into central CSS or JavaScript file. So from which the hypertext transfer protocol you know, request will is reduced. In process, we also used to minify the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, compressed to speed up to the load time. So these little bit technical analogies we used to take care to make our website having to make our website move fast within our network and having a lesser load time from our server. Website should be mobile friendly. Website should be mobile friendly. It is not commonplace to access website from multiple devices with multiple screen sizes. So it is important to consider if your website is mobile friendly. If your website is not mobile friendly, you can either devote it a responsive layout. This means your website will adjust to the different screen width, or you can build a dedicated mobile site, a separate website optimized specifically for the mobile users. Because see, it, why we use website or web platform is the most important question before going for any website development. The purpose of the website development is to get the information fast. And if I have access of a mobile phone in my right hand, and in my left hand I'm going to click that information by taking that, I just want to take the maximum input from there. So if we want to succeed, then our mobile should have responsive web pages. Or if it is not possible, we have made on the static. We have made our information on the static constraint, constraint, static constraints, static HTML constraints, or not. We are not able to upload new pages. So we should bring some new website or fresh look of the website for the mobile platform, because it will help us enhance us better to enhance us better first. Secondly, we will able to communicate our users in a better manner. So in all our discussion, in all our last 10 principles, which includes purpose, communication, typefaces, color, images, navigation, grid-based layout, F-pattern design, load time, mobile friendliness, we are able to comprehend some points. Those points are: it is easy to create a beautiful functional website simply by keeping these design elements in mind. Have you got a website design that needs reviewing or optimizing? Or perhaps you are planning a website or you're looking to get the design right from the ground up. One should incorporate these 10 principles within their constructive environment. Either way, these principles of effective web design can help your website be more engaging, useful, and memorable for the visitors. So, purpose. I have just shown an image. Live and go. We have our screen, three type of screen: tablet screen, mobile screen, and our system screen. So, in all three screens, you will able to understand that the design of the websites is very different. The mobile screen, it is in the in the mobile screen, it has a different outlook layout. In the in a tablet and in the system, or in the normal PC, personal computer, have a different outlook. So this is what I'm saying. So we should make our website very responsive, from which the user have an engaging, useful, and memorable experience. That's what no, this topic is. That's what this topic is all about. Basic principles involved in developing a website. So thank you for your time. Take care.